So guys, you join me with my MK7 Golf R and a MK7.5 GTI TCR. I'm so interested to do sort of like a back-to-back comparison about this. Obviously, I've owned the Golf R now for sort of 6 years. The owners also owned this car for a very long time as well. Really special cars to me. I love the MK7 and the MK7.5 platform. I think they're just fantastic cars. The owner's done a great job at cleaning his TCR. Mine's a little bit dirty. I just love these cars. And I think it's a really interesting comparison, because to be fair, for around sort of like 20 to 30,000 pounds, I think these cars represent really good value, even in 2023. Looks wise, I mean, I think they both look great, but the TCR has a lot of stance to it. But yeah, I tell you what, let's just talk about some of the little bits of differences about these cars. So they're both EA AAA engines, both 2 litres. This is 296 brake horsepower. That's about 286 horsepower. It's a little bit more detuned. 4-wheel drive Haldex in that, and it's the 7-speed DSG in that car. 5-door in that car. They did have a few models of the TCR in 3-door, but they discontinued them early. Mine's in 3-door. You can get it in 5-door. Mine is actually in manual. You can get it in DSG, so similar on that plant. The main difference is probably the 4-wheel drive, but we'll go out and we'll really compare them. I have driven this car quite a few times as well on the channel in the past, so I'm kind of familiar. But if we just see a little bit of the inside, yeah, I guess you get a slightly little bit like less boot space, if that's your kind of thing. So like if we check just in here, you can see mine, I've got like my filming gear and stuff. You lose a little bit of a space at the back. You got the spare wheel, but that's it. Quad exhaust pipes on mine. The TCR looking absolutely beautiful with its 19-inch wheels. This car has the performance pack. It looks stunning. 2 little exhaust pipes. I love the little details on the TCR. It's a very special car. But if we just check briefly the boot of this one, hopefully the owner hasn't got anything. Yeah, a few things. It's a little bit more space. Being front wheel drive, it's not as bad for space on that front. Inside, actually, in the cars, mine's obviously a manual. The seats are actually very similar, as you will find out. It's a really nice platform. I think this is when VW were at the top of their game. They just built them really well. A lot of soft touch, like lots of like secret cubby hole bits, which is good. Good quality. I mean, mine's a 6-year-old car and it's absolutely fine. It's a cool place to be, and yeah, we'll take this one out shortly. Physical dials on mine, the 7.5, as you'll see, has, as we'll shut that one up, has auto dials. Again, I think this owner keeps this car absolutely immaculate. So 23,000 miles on this car. Mine's on 44,500. The seats are actually very similar and very body hugging. Main difference is that digital infotainment. It's a cool place. This car has a little bit of few like special touches of Alcantara, which makes it look a little bit nice, and certainly more like sporting intentions. One thing that I tried to do to try and make mine like a TCR is, you see these, they're called like the Club Sport S discs, available on the performance pack. Well, I fancied fitting them to my Golf R because I think they look great and it needs a replacement. But there we go. Let's take these cars out and do a bit of a back-to-back. We'll start with my MK7 Golf R, and then we'll take out the TCR, and yeah, we'll have a bit of fun. But yeah, super looking forward to this one. So let's start off with my MK7 Golf R. First of all, I love the quad lights. They look super cool. Yeah, I've had this car for 6 years now, and I'm really interested to just do the back-to-back between this and the TCR. Mine's got the 18-inch Cadiz wheels, still looking quite good. Recently had new discs and pads on here. I've got Club Sport S discs, which are actually quite similar to the TCRs. Mine being a 3-door, also a manual. I've got Michelin PS4 tyres on it. You can hear the exhaust ticking away. Yeah, she sounds good. Quad tailpipes. It's a lovely car. I've loved it. It's nice and dirty. Let's go for a quick drive, and yeah, I'm looking forward to then comparing it with the TCR, because that's a special car. But let's hop in and let's do this. So we're in the Golf R. Little things I love is the performance monitor. I love the Mark 7. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited with all of this. And yeah, the TCR for me, it really is a special car because I think it's a fast road car. This is also fast road, 4-wheel drive. It's almost certainly going to rain soon. I've got the traction control set to sport mode. Biggest difference is going to be a bit of the manual, but I mean, this car pulls. It's super quick, and yeah, I've found that over the years that I've had it. And there's some really, really good little twisty roads actually, which we can come on and have a bit of fun. But yeah, I mean, if you followed my channel for so long, you'll kind of know, you'll know exactly how I feel about this car. It's a special car. It's like, and this is actually one of my, well, if you check some of my videos back 6 years ago, I was in this car around these very roads. Yeah, it's a very, very special place to me, very close to my heart. And lots has changed, but I'm still smiling and I'm still enjoying this amazing car. It's looked after me. 44,500 miles. I'll have to check in the TCR to see what mileage that's on. I think it's about 20. They both have the AAA engine, mine having 300 or 296 horsepower, the TCR having an overboost. Oh no, I think the TCR's got 290. So that'll be interesting. And obviously it's front wheel drive. It's more track orientated than this car. This car doesn't have any dynamic chassis control, and I think that's something that can really change the versatility of the car. Yeah, I mean, it's special. I've actually got hopefully plans to meet up with a 40th edition as well, which has had so much work done on it, so we'll see on that too. But let's focus on the Mark 7 Golf R and the Mark 7.5 TCR, and comparing them. Looks wise, you know, I've obviously just gone through it. It's up to you guys to kind of decide which ones you prefer. But yeah, these are my favourite roads. Sometimes Auto Trader are here to do to do a little bit of a route. In race mode, you get the Sounds Imposer. I mean, this is a quick car. I mean, he's properly on it too. Too right as well. We're losing out on these roads. Whoa! Tyres are cold. Tyres are cold. Hey, it's just like a little racetrack. Woohoo! And you can see so far ahead, so if there's any like cyclists and stuff, oh my god, this road is so good. I just love it. Flippin' heck, yeah, yeah. Come on. Oh my god. And that's it. It's like a roller coaster now, because they've changed the limits to 40, because that's what they do. But what we can do, and what we can do well, is we can actually head back, because it's conveniently got a nice little turning for me to just head straight back on the road. We'll do the exact same route in the TCR. I mean, like, if I was in my Focus RS, I could do launch control here. I mean, well, maybe there'll be a Focus RS comparison with the TCR coming up. Stay tuned to that. Oh man, it's such a, you know what, for a car that's so flipping good as a daily, I have so much fun in this. Oh man, you'll never leave me, Golf R. You'll be with me forever, one way or the other. Oh, it's just, my car, this car is completely stock. Completely stock. other than those Club Sport S front discs, which are the same front discs as on the TCR. In fact, it's the same braking setup, except that TCR, I think they weighs a little bit less, but then this is a 3-door and this is a manual, and obviously a DSG and an DSG and 5 doors do add to the weight. When I spoke to the owner before, because I've met up with the TCR owner quite a few times, was how they could both work as dailies, which is really surprising, because it's like the TCR you'd think is obviously, well, it's a touring car racing, that's the whole idea of it, but it's like, it's not. It's genuinely a usable car. It can kind of do both things, and that's so cool. That was the one thing that the owner said, was that first gear pull away with the 4-wheel drive. You cannot do that. There is a limit to what you can do with front wheel drive. And actually, as a day-to-day drive, I can't get enough of 4-wheel drive cars now. That's why I kind of have 2. I've got 8-wheel drive going my way. Yeah, but let's hop in the TCR, because that's a really, really great car. And you know, in a world where things are really difficult to get, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, there's tricky times, isn't it? Let's just be honest. But both my car and the owner's car are worth anywhere from between £16,000–17,000 up to, the owner's car's a very good car, to be fair. That's probably about 30,000, that one. Maybe a little bit less, but you can get TCRs for less than that. And have them, and they have them for a long time. I've had this for 6 years. The owner's had that for a very long time as well. I'll clarify with him how long he's had it for. And keep them. We both own them outright. We've got no finance on them. They hold their money well. We don't do mega miles. Gee, I mean, seriously, think about it. Seriously think about what you're doing and what you want. And if you want to have fun in some other cars, just, you know, have like a track day or something. Do a track experience. Get in a Porsche. Yeah, that's my thoughts. But yeah, let's head in the TCR and do a little back-to-back. And I've got a feeling it's probably going to rain. But yeah, hey, that's what happens in the UK. So that's the downsides a little bit to front wheel drive. But yeah, let's hop in the TCR. I've actually had the pleasure of driving this car quite a lot, like literally a lot of miles. I'm with my Golf R, as you can see there. As you can see, this is a 7.5 GTI TCR. This car has the performance pack, is dynamic chassis control, 290 horsepower. Really, really cool car. Now, the owner has owned this car virtually from new. And I think these are kind of one of the bargains of the century. Between 25 and sort of towards 30,000 for a really good one, it's a cracking car. And yeah, I'll give you an idea of what it's like, yeah, on the drive. Basically, I've been driving this car quite a lot. So you can kind of see like the back. There's a lot I like about this car. It's the details, the little styling tweaks. VW really worked hard on it. You got the 19-inch wheels. Super nice, super practical, little boot spoiler as well, and yeah, just a great car. Great paintwork as well. You know, I'll give us a spin around as we're here. Lights look nice. You get the GTI badge, that EA 888 engine, same in the Golf R. They're good cars, these. They're really good cars. Yeah, proper fun. There's your TCR badge. They didn't make too many of these TCRs, and yeah, I think red, white, black and grey they come in. But let's go inside, because it's actually really special inside. You get a black roof as well, which is nice. Super cool in here. Nice seats, not buckets, but nice and body hugging. And yeah, you get the 7-speed gearbox, nice infotainment. It's a cool place. Really, really cool. Now we are in the TCR, and having just driven the Golf R, it's super special to be in the cars like this. I'll be honest, I was thinking, you know, I will eventually go for an automatic. If it wasn't for the fact that, you know, I know manuals are going away, and I'm quite close to that Golf R. You know, autos do make sense. This is the 7-speed DSG. As you can see, it's the same performance monitor as I had up in my Mark 7, but this one's obviously a little bit more digital. And yeah, it's a very familiar place. And the last time I drove this car, the owner said a good point and said, when you kind of get in it, it feels like you're coming home. And it really does feel that. It's super comfy in its softest setting. You can put this in a firmer setting, which probably would be quite good on track. It's super smooth gearbox, really, really nice. It's as strange as it sounds, it doesn't feel like, it feels just generally like a sportier version of an R. You kind of have to be more control of the drive. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, I've got I was driving sort of like the Focus ST and the front wheel drive sort of nature of that car, and comparing that to actually my Focus RS, which was 4-wheel drive, and it was super interesting. And both me and that owner kind of came up with the conclusion that the front wheel drive car is actually probably a little bit more fun, because you had to, you know, you had to really work for it. Whereas in the 4-wheel drive stuff, you know, it can be a little bit easy. But I mean, I noticed this car feels a little bit lighter. It's really, really nice. As you mentioned, sort of like the brakes and everything is literally exactly the same. Sort of set up with kind of like the Club Sport S discs and all that, but we got some super nice roads, as you've just seen, so literally a direct back-to-back route. And I'm glad it hasn't started raining on us, although it probably will. I do feel sometimes like, oh, I can't really just like plant your foot as well as you could before. But yeah, and I was kind of, you know, I mentioned before about potentially meeting up with the owner with the 40th, and this was kind of like a derivative of the 40th in the Mark 7. But yeah, a little bit more updated. You've got the updated infotainment. Yeah, looks wise, I'm not gonna lie, the styling of this car, it's certainly out there. It's probably more in line with my Focus RS, and you know, hopefully with the owner we will do a bit of a Focus RS versus TCR, which I think will be really exciting. But yeah, here we go on these roads now. 60 mile an hour limit. And well, I have to say I'm happier in the comfort setting. It's interesting to compare it. I probably feel it's more comfortable than the passive setup on my Golf R, but I suppose if that had DCC, I suppose there wouldn't be much in it. We've got a few people walking, but it's brakes feel actually very similar. The car feels a little bit lighter on its toes. It's so nice. Yeah, it definitely feels more capable, but surprisingly more comfortable. With the DCC, the dynamic chassis control, this must be just an amazing daily. An amazing daily. Every time I drive these types of Mark 7s, I could basically own every Mark 7. I'd have a TCR, a 40th, a Club Sport S, and my Golf R, a DSG manual, all of them. Now we've got those people walking on the road, so we'll be a bit careful, but it's so smooth. So smooth. We'll cut inside to them. I feel the tyres are a little bit more grippier than probably the PS4s on mine. A bit bigger contact patch as well, so probably a bit more confidence. Wider rubber. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, you know, for me, they're both real winners. And if you're watching my videos and you love sort of like the VW stuff, the Mark 7s are just so great. You know, at the end of the day, the Mark 8s did have their issues, and you know, they still sort of have their teething problems, particularly with the infotainment. This is just, if you look after them, like this owner has done with this car, like I do with mine, and you can find one sort of on the used market, I don't really think there's a better car out there. For the money as well, when you look at some of the costs of some of the cars these days, just have something like this and keep it. It's actually very special. I love the little touches in this TCR. What was my main comparison for it? I actually, in its softest setting, I'm surprised how much more comfortable this is than my Golf R. So in some ways, the Golf R actually felt a bit more sporty. In its sort of firmest setting, this car does get very firm. So it's kind of like a, yeah, I suppose my R is in between, or maybe slightly firmer than it is in comfort in this. This definitely feels like, to me, if you're pushing on, it would be very, very good, particularly in the dry. But you are limited, obviously, with your front wheel drive, and yeah, you can only do so much. I love the fact that anyone can kind of get in these cars. This car's in this amazing grey, similar to like my Golf R, and yeah, it's a really, really special place. I think for those who are kind of considering getting this kind of, you know, platform, whether it's a Mark 7 GTI or a TCR, or, you know, the 40th, or there's so many, or the R, there's literally no loser. Like, I could have, if I had this car, if I got this car, you know, 5 years ago, I'd probably still have it. It's one of those ones where you can just keep it and do everything with it. In the UK, the four-wheel drive is handy, but for that little blast, the TCR can kind of give you the edge. Yeah, I'm torn. Let me know in the comments what you think between these two cars, and I'm very fortunate to have driven this car quite a few times to get an understanding of it. I can't really split too much between them. And yeah, you're definitely gonna have to help me out on that one. But yeah, any questions, let me know, and yeah, we'll go from there. Until next one, subscribe for more content.